You say you'll be down in 5. The smell of your perfume is floating down the stairs. You're fixing up your hair like you do. I know that I'll be a mess the second that I see you. You won't be surprised, it happens every time, it's nothing new. It's always on a night like tonight. I thank God you can read my mind. 'Cause when you look at me with those eyes, I'm speechless, staring at you standing there in that dress. What it's doing to me ain't a secret, 'cause watching you is all that I can do. And I'm speechless, you already know that you're my weakness. After all this time I'm just as nervous every time you walk into the room. I'm speechless.
You say you'll be down in 5. The smell of your perfume is floating down the stairs. You're fixing up your hair like you do. I know that I'll be a mess the second that I see you. You won't be surprised. This happens every time. It's nothing new. It's always on a night like tonight. I thank God you can read my mind. 'Cause when you look at me with those eyes, I'm speechless. Speechless by Dan and Shay. Okay, we're in season 2 episode. Left you last time where me and Cara decided on the wedding day, June 30th, 2012. Mom and Dad's passed and didn't get to make the wedding. But anyway, we called the wedding and June 30th, 2012 in, what's the name of that?
I'm trying to think of the name of the neighborhood.
Carrington.
Yeah, that's it.
Caring Place or something. Go ahead and tell how we got secured that spot.
I was still working at Whittier at the time, and one of the moms that had come in, I was talking to her about the wedding and trying to figure out where to do it because we just wanted it to be pretty simple. And she said, well, I'll just reserve the pool house for you. And so she did. And so when we had our wedding, it was so much fun. We had so much fun at our wedding.
Well, and we had some friends in the neighborhood also at the same time with
Yeah, well, they weren't they weren't in that particular neighborhood, but my friend Callie and her parents, Jackie and Napua, they provided, they cooked for us. They cooked for weddings and stuff before, but they're my family. I mean, I've known them my whole life. And when everybody came down the morning of the wedding, what was so cool is that everybody was over at their house making egg rolls and cooking and hanging out together. And then we transported it all over to the facility. And we had an open bar from the time that you walked in the door. So there was kids from the neighborhood that were swimming in the pool out back because we didn't reserve the pool. We just reserved the building. And so they were like, Miss Cara, standing at the window waving at us as we're getting married. It was awesome because it was so chilled.
Yeah, and Jackie and Napua, like I said, was Cara's close friends, and Napua is Hawaiian by ancestry. Mm-hmm. And their theme of the food was...
it was a little bit of everything because we had... she makes the best black-eyed peas in the world. I mean...
We did that for good luck.
Yeah. It's worked so far.
Then she made spring...
We had egg rolls, and we had Hawaiian chicken, and we had one more odd thing because it was another one of my favorites. Now I've gone blank. The food was massive. People were everywhere, inside, outside. I mean... family, friends, and so the fun part about it is half the people didn't even know each other because we had people from my side, we had people from Bob's side that had never ever met before, and then we had people that we'd met together.
Yeah, yours, mine, and ours, and it was pretty cool.
It was really cool because everybody got to meet everybody, and I mean we had everything from people we'd known for 40 years to people that we'd met together in the past 3, and so it was really fun. It was a great day. People still talk about it too. Is what's so fun is they'll say,
"Yeah, it's pretty."
I'll tell you right now, that was one of the best weddings I've ever been to.
Yeah, I was in my Tommy Bahama shorts and shirt. Cara had a
I just had a
pretty
dress
little-
that I bought at Forever 21 for like $19.
Yeah, a little
My cowboy
little,
boots and
cute little dress. We had the meal there. Guest was all just, like I say, roaming around and visiting each other, saying, "How do you know Bob or Cara? What side are you on?"
it was hotter than hell. It was so hot in that building because there were so many people crammed in there.
Yeah, it was hot and air conditioning with the doors going open and closed. It couldn't keep up, so it got really hot. But we tolerated it, and the DJ come in there after we did the ceremonies, and basically we just roaming around food and alcohol with us, and got close to time. Jackie Davis, he's the Cara's lifelong friend. He's a full Comanche Indian, and he did a little prayer in the Comanche language, and he kind of led off the ceremonies. And
He's been a dad to me since my dad passed so young, and so having him there was incredibly special because I've literally known Jackie, rest in peace. He passed this past year, but he's been a dad figure to me, and so it was absolutely incredibly special.
yeah, and the Jackie and Napua, then Cowie and Mike and the boys, Ohia and
Jack Keanu. Yeah, they were all there. They all helped cook. Callie and I have been friends since our 20s. I met by chance and then figured out that her mom and Jackie had married out in California, so it was like a big full circle. So Callie and I we're sisters, and her boys are they're like nephews or my sons, and
yeah, they
Mike.
call you Aunt Caren and call me Uncle Bob, and
Yeah.
I don't have any dog in the fight, but they
Yeah.
call me Uncle Bob. It's pretty cool.
And then Mike, I went to high school with, and so Callie and I introduced Callie and Mike, and they ended up beautiful marriage and 2 great boys, and so it's another one of those God winks in my life that just make me feel blessed all over again. I say it all the time, guys, but it's pretty cool the way life goes.
Anyway, we had a nice ceremony. The gracious people at Carrington offered the clubhouse for us. The Jackie and Napua and their family cooked for us assortment of beverages, whereas adult beverages or children beverages, and we just had a good chilled out time and got married. And we didn't have any honeymoon plans at the time. What we was already invited to go to Germany to see, I call her my German daughter. She was getting married in September, and they invited us to go over there. So I asked Cara if she'd like to go to Germany for Karen's wedding, and she's, "Well, I've never been to international or anything." I said, "Well, you'll be fine. We'll go over there. We'll stay in near the same city that they're living in. We'll go to the wedding. I think you'll have a good time." Cara, you want to tell them what your chores was when you got there?
Oh, yeah. Well, being that I was Karen's American dad's wife, I got to meet them for the very first time, and Colin was probably...
You kind of back up and give a little background. Colin, this wedding was an official wedding. What they got married, had Colin, and waited about a year.
He was about a
and half.
year, yeah. He was a little over a year old, I think.
Yeah, but
I was responsible for taking care of Colin, and he didn't know me from Adam, and I didn't know any of them, but it was absolutely perfect, guys. It was so cool. I was his grandma for the entire time we were there.
Yeah, grandma or nanny, whatever you want to call it. She pretty much, Karen gave Colin to Cara and said, "Here, you take care of him. I got things to do."
Yep.
So, oh my God! So
I looked at Bob, and he looked at me, and he goes, "You good?" I said, "Sure." So off we went.
So she babysat Colin while we went through the wedding ceremonies, and I'd always heard about European or German weddings, and this was by far the longest drawn-out wedding I'd ever been into in my life. Well, it started at 10 o'clock in the morning in this little city called Jork, Germany. They had the ceremony in the church they go to is like a 1,000-year-old church.
Oh, it's gorgeous. There's
Absolutely.
nothing like it.
It's absolutely gorgeous church. Did their ceremonies and they took pictures and stuff and
All over town. So we were going all over town.
Taking
and
pictures.
I had this baby.
Yeah, so
and let's put it this way. Germans love their beer, guys. So it's not like any of this was going on without festivities going on at the same time. And these people, I mean, it's gorgeous because they dress up. I mean, it's like they're going to prom when they go to a wedding. These women have on gowns, and everybody is just happy and loving on each other, and there's no animosity whatsoever. There's no jealousies. It's just like this huge, massive group of happy people. And so everywhere you go, and they're taking pictures up on top of these buildings, they're taking them outside. It's all normal. It's what they do. And so everybody's just enjoying it. It's not like, oh gosh, let's get these pictures over with, blah, blah, blah. There's no negativity to it. It's just gorgeous.
yeah, so we ended up at this hotel restaurant, kind of a lounge. That's where the reception was. It was in a little community called Stada, which is a few miles from York. So this is in the early afternoon, so we're kind of just following the lead. Me and Cara really didn't know what the procedure was. Cara's, pretty much taking care of calling, and we go into this venue, and they had probably 100 tables or 100 seats set up, and so we found a spot and that we thought would be okay. And Cara ended up sitting next to an older lady from Germany that could not speak any English at all. Cara could not speak any German at all, and they just had a blast.
We did. We had so much fun. We figured it out, I'll tell you. And she was the coolest elderly woman I've ever hung out with. I swear to God, we had so much fun. And I don't know that we ever really spoke any language that either one of us understood.
But if you've ever been over there and have a language barrier, anywhere you go, you can usually put the context of what they're talking about and kind of put it together, and it's fun, even if it's not in the right context.
At one point, we're actually eating off the same plate. And Caren went over to Bob, and she goes, "Did you introduce them? Do you know that that's blah, blah, blah?" Because I can't even remember her name. And he was like, "No, they just sat down, and they've been having fun together."
I think it was Jurgen's wife.
It was her aunt by marriage, right?
Yeah, Jurgen's is her uncle through her mom, and this was the wife.
Because Jurgen is Anne-Marie's brother.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anne-Marie is Karen's mom. So.
But anyway, we started the wedding at like 10 o'clock in the morning. We ended up at this venue in the afternoon. We had a really nice dinner, had some beer, champagne, and all that good stuff. Then the band comes in, and they start dancing, and they continue to dance. Well,
and dance.
Yeah.
And dance.
At 6 o'clock the next morning, Cara says, "Man, I am done. I'm toast. I need to get a nap."
Because you have to remember, we had just flown there.
Yeah, we almost took 24 hours flying there. Then we had
an event.
We had a few hours sleep.
Yeah.
Then
like
we got up
4.
for the wedding.
And then it was the wedding. So basically, Bob and I had been up for about 48 hours.
With just a few hours of sleep. Anyway, 6 that morning, we was able to get a ride back to Anne-Marie's house where we was staying. We get there, and Cara said, "I'm going to go up here and take me a little nap." And Anne-Marie, she says, Now we got to go back and have a breakfast at 9. So Cara says, "I'm out. I'm done. I'm toast. I can't. I gotta take."
I was burnt toast. I wasn't just kind of toast. I was burnt toast.
So she was burnt toast. So I said, "Okay, you go ahead and take your little nap. And so I went back over this Stada, and here we go again. We ate breakfast, and we had beer and champagne and everything again. 2 in the afternoon now, so I've been up all day and all night. So I get a call, Cara, and she says, "Where are you?" I said, "Well, I'm still we're still celebrating this wedding over here." She said, "Oh my God." I said, "Where are you?" And she says, "I really don't know where I'm at." I said, "What do you mean?" Well, she was in New York. She got her nap out, and she decided to just walk around the community.
I loved it. It's so cool. One of the coolest places, and I'll say it over and over again, are their cemeteries. They're absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, she walked all over town.
I went back to the church. I walked around the cemetery. I walked around the church, walked back through town, and then I found this little
circle.
They have roundabouts all over the place, but we're just now getting them. I mean, but over there, I find over there much easier to get around than I do here, basically, and it drives Bob nuts because I can usually figure out where we are. When we're here, I usually don't have a clue. So I found this little outdoor, it was indoor too, but it was like a grocery / bar kind of thing. And it was right there in the middle of town in York. And I found me a table in the sunshine, and it was gorgeous outside, and there were kids playing and people walking, and I saw an apple cart crash, and apples went everywhere.
Yeah, well, the apple cart was full. They was pulling it with a tractor and a trailer, and it
went around that roundabout and hit a little bump. And
yeah, he went around the roundabout and actually probably going too fast, dumped all his apples out. Anyway.
But I was just sitting outside drinking beer.
She calls, and I said, "Well, where are you?" She said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Well, kind of describe where you're at." And she went to describe it. I said, "Okay, I know exactly where you're at. I'm on my way." So
they pull into the parking lot, and they see me sitting over there, and Karen's like, "What the hell?"
So
where have you been?
So we stay there. We're sitting there, and I said, "Heck, I'll just stay here we'll walk back to the Anne Marie's house here in a little bit." Well, we sat there and we drank a few beers, and next thing I know, Anne Marie's calling, and this puts it about 4:00, 4:30 in the afternoon. Anne Marie calls. I said, "Hello," and she says, "Bob, where are you?" I said, "Well, we're at this little market." "Oh, you need to come home right now. We have to go eat at 5:00 in Buxtehude." I said, "Oh my God."
It was more wedding festivities.
She says, "Yes, we must go. We must go." I said, "Okay, we'll finish our beer and we'll walk." And it was all 10-minute walk from where we were back to go up and change clothes, kind of get refreshed again, and here we go. Buxtehude to this nice little restaurant with me and Cara, Caren and Christian, brother Steve and his wife, Anne Marie, Jurgen. I can't think of who else may have been there. I think Karsten was there. Anyway.
Karsten is Karen's brother.
Cara got duties for Colin again. Colin, he was totally exhausted. He went to crying in that restaurant.
So tired.
He was, nobody controlled him. So me and brother Steve said, "Hell, we'll take care of him." So we, 2 Americans, we load this year-and-a-half boy in a stroller and put him in that stroller and just went walking up down the street. He's screaming, he's bawling, and hell, we're just ignoring, and people are looking at us like, what in the hell are 2 Americans pushing around this little kid? We just kept going back and forth. Finally, he gave it up and fell asleep, and Caren, my German daughter, which is the mom of Colin, she was worried to death. Where you been? And we come pushing in, he's sound asleep, and she just smiled, the biggest smile she ever said, "How did you do that? How did you do that?" I said, "Just ignore them long enough, just keep pushing. They'll go sleep sooner or later."
There was this person, though, I can't remember if it was a man or a woman, they said they thought that Steve and Bob were a gay couple with this
Gay
baby.
couple that we adopted a little
They
German
thought they were an
baby.
American couple that had come over there and adopted this German baby, walking around the streets.
But anyway, that we're gonna wrap this one up. So now me and Cara's gotten married June 30, 2012. We've gone to Germany and saw my German daughter Caren get officially married at, well, not officially, but went through the ceremonies of a elaborate wedding, and it was awesome. Then we come back home and start recuperating a little bit.
Let me add that we come back home after all this, and I immediately have to go back to work. And I go to work, and the kids, I swear, they could have been poking me with push pins, and I wouldn't have known it.
Her first international trip was, I think, pretty significant, and I think she enjoyed it, and I had a great time. And anyway, we're back in Oklahoma, and we'll continue our journey next week. Thanks.
See ya.